East Rutherford, New Jersey, December 10. Jason Witten. Photo by Abbie Parr, Getty Images. The Dallas Cowboys made some waves just before the NFL scouting combine as they announced former tight end Jason Witten was leaving the ESPN broadcast booth to return to the field. While it's true that Witten had lost a step in his final season with the team, he's still a player the coaching staff trusts to get his job done. He was also a more complete player overall than anyone the team had on the roster in 2018. With that domino falling into place, there's very little chance the Cowboys now go after a tight end during 2019 NFL free agency. They should still target a young man in the draft, but that's also not a given seeing how much the front office loves Witten. Knowing that this could be their stance, we now have a more clear picture of what the offseason plan could be for the Cowboys. First up is going to be the contract extensions for players such as DeMarcus Lawrence, Amari Cooper, Ezekiel Elliott, and Dak Prescott. Of all those, Lawrence will be the key as he's the only player set for free agency. He's also about to make a ton of money. There has to be faith that Lawrence will be back as the Cowboys understand what he brings to the table. Here we will skip that hurdle and look at 5 other predictions for America's team this offseason, beginning with another beloved veteran in Cole Beasley. Page 2, photo by Joe Robbins, Getty Images. So much about the return of Jason Witten has been discussed, especially in regards to what it means to the tight end position. What could be overlooked is what it means to their soon-to-be free agent slot receiver Cole Beasley. Formerly undrafted out of SMU, Beasley developed into a security blanket on third downs. He wasn't known for stretching the field, but ran perfect routes and caught everything. More from NFL Spin's only problem was, he didn't get enough targets. At least, that's how he felt, and Beasley let that be known through social media when the offseason began. While team owner Jerry Jones said that won't deter them from re-signing Beasley, the Witten news may. Dallas is working Amari Cooper and Michael Gallup into the offense more, meaning Beasley would continue to have to work hard for his targets, with the majority coming on third and shorts. Dallas can continue to use that formula while using Witten as the security blanket that Beasley was. Clearly, he's not as quick and doesn't run as clean of routes, but Witten does offer just as sure of hands while also providing a much larger target. In the end, the presence of the future Hall of Fame tight end will give Dallas the ability to let Beasley walk and use a late-round pick on another project slot receiver to groom in the mold of Beasley. Page 3, PHILADELPHIPA. In November 11th, defensive end Chris Long. Photo by Elsa, Getty Images. Back in 2016 when defensive end Chris Long was looking for a new home following 8 seasons with the St. Louis Rams, the Cowboys were one of the teams interested in his services. They were never able to give him the full pitch though, as he ended up signing with the New England Patriots before making his visit with the boys. Then, after winning a Super Bowl with the Patriots, Long went on to join the Philadelphia Eagles, where he again won a title. Now a free agent, Long has openly discussed retirement as well as rejoining the Eagles, where he's been a solid rotational piece. However, he did mention playing time as a factor in his decision. With Brandon Graham locked in on a new deal and Derek Barnett coming back from injury, there may not be the same amount of snaps available for Long in 2019. That won't be the case in Dallas, especially considering the recent indefinite suspension of Randy Gregory. Not only will Gregory be gone, but Taco Charlton has also struggled to make the transition to the pros. There is hope that Dorrance Armstrong can develop into a solid player, but he's not ready to take the lead, meaning Tyrone Crawford is likely starting at right end once again. Getting someone like Long would help tremendously as he can play in a rotation behind Crawford and DeMarcus Lawrence, assuming he re-signs. Crawford also has the ability to play inside, and a trusted edge rusher like Long would allow that to take place more often, giving even more flexibility to the Cowboys' D-line. Page 4 JACKSONVILLE, FL, December 10, Quinton Jefferson. Photo by Sam Greenwood, Getty Images. Randy Gregory isn't the only defensive lineman from the Cowboys to get indefinitely suspended by the NFL, as David Irving joined him just days afterward. Sadly, neither suspension was surprising, but Irving's was slightly less so, considering Irving was never even able to get on the field for more than 2 games this season. Irving was also set for free agency for the 2nd season in a row, and it seemed like a foregone conclusion that he wasn't getting a contract offer from Dallas. So even without a suspension, the front office was going to be in the market for a new defensive tackle. Without a first-round pick in the 2019 NFL Draft, the Cowboys are going to need to use free agency to fill some of their holes so they don't feel the need to reach, like they did in 2017, with Taco Charlton. If a good player that can play on the line is there in the 2nd round, great, but if not, they need someone who can play in their system. With their current cap situation, they also need to add some players on the cheap. That could lead to them looking to a team like the Seattle Seahawks. Not only has Dallas modeled a lot of their defense off the Seahawks, but their former defensive coordinator, Chris Richard, is calling defensive plays for the boys now. This leads to a prediction of them targeting Quinton Jefferson, a 291-pound defensive tackle who recorded 25 tackles and 3 sacks while starting 12 games last season. Jefferson isn't a household name, but neither was Antwaun Woods when Dallas targeted him in 2018 free agency. They look for another steal. Here's Richard convinces the front office to look at a player he's familiar with. Page 5 Use your arrows to browse. New Orleans, LA, December 17, Bilal Powell. Photo by Chris Craven, Getty Images. This past season, the Cowboys went into the year with Rod Smith as their primary backup to Ezekiel Elliott. It's understandable given how strong he came on at the end of 2017, but Smith was underwhelming when given the chance to play. To be fair, a huge part of that could have been due to his limited snaps. Zeke rarely comes off the field, and Smith is a large bruising back who needs to get into a rhythm to make an impact. With that being said, the Cowboys would be wise to get someone more used to making plays with limited time on the field. That's where someone like Bilal Powell would come in. An 8-year veteran, Powell has made a career out of being a third-down back who comes in only when needed. He's played 96 career games while starting just 37. He's averaged 4.4 yards per rush in his career but has also been a good receiver. Powell has 204 career grabs for 1,567 yards. He's not exactly a burner, and he doesn't make highlight reel plays. Despite that being the case, he's a savvy player who understands how to get the job done. In Dallas, he would continue to serve as a rotational back, but he could be better at coming in for a snap or two and then sitting than what Smith was. Use your arrows to browse.